Question number 5. The Chamber's Crime Awareness Committee is committed to being part of the solution for community safety. We know that we have a much lower officer to population ratio than other large cities. Given the limited budget for law enforcement professionals, how do you plan to enhance safety without a budget to expand the police force? Additionally, based on the $5 million court judgment relevant to the crime lab, do you have plans to fix the crime lab? And I'm going to start with Gene Locke.
Crime lab first, yes. I don't think the city of Houston, and I certainly don't think our police department, needs to be in the crime lab business. We need to farm it out. There needs to be a regional crime lab that serves the region and is not operating in the city of Houston. The hallmark of justice is that every person gets a fair trial. And anytime you have a crime lab that calls into question justice, you're not serving this community well. Now, the larger question, though, I think, in terms of what do we do in terms of policing the city, I would find money to find a way to put more officers on the street. That will mean, in part, going and using overtime to make sure that officers are available right now, and it will mean, in part, finding money for new academies going forward.
Thank you, Gene. Up next, Peter Brown.
We need smart policing in the city of Houston, and we need to do some things differently. And I think HPD agrees with me on this. There's several things we can do. First, new technology, our real-time crime center, which helped initiate, makes neighborhood policing much more effective. Secondly, we do have a request in the stimulus package, $49 million, that would allow as many as 4 new cadet classes. I'm pushing for that. We're very confident we'll get that money. Thirdly, we need to get more officers on the street in your neighborhood, a greater police presence, and fewer officers behind the desk. We do have a program, it doesn't really have a name, but it's get the officers from behind the desk and out on the street, and I would support that. So we need to really institute some better strategies to get the crime rate down in Houston, like have been successful in other cities. We can do it here in Houston.
Thank you, Peter. Up next, Roy Morales.
As a former assistant director for the Houston Emergency Center, I understand a little bit about policing. What we have to do is we have to make sure we change our whole strategy on policing from a deterrence rather than reaction. We have to make sure we collect all of our intelligence and then apply all of our resources to go after the criminal elements. We need to also make sure that we do certain things down at the substation level. And I heard this idea back during the District H race, I don't know if Rick is still here, but he's right, that we need to make sure that our captains stay at their substations. Right now they're moved every 3 years. The criminals do not move their leadership every 3 years. They understand that neighborhood. They commit crimes on those neighborhoods. We've got to make sure we have more technology. We've got to also make sure we have radio interoperability, something I've been pushing for since 2004. We've got to make sure that we have a regional crime lab. This is something that the district attorney wanted, or the candidate, and hopefully we can get it now.
Thank you, Roy. And last on question 5, Anise Parker.
Starting with the crime lab is fixed. I am a member of the stakeholders committee tasked with cleaning it up, and I signed all that $5 million in checks to the outside investigators to do that. What we haven't done is taken it out from under the police department and had to have a regional crime lab, and I absolutely support that and believe it's the only way that we can prevent the crime lab from falling back into the problems that it had in the past. In terms of the crime situation, we've made a big step forward by investing in an interoperable radio system for the Houston Police Department. We have been unable to communicate with the other policing agencies in the area, and we will begin phasing in that new radio system so that we can have direct communication. With direct communication, you have the ability to coordinate response. You don't care if it's an HISD police officer, a constable, or a Houston police officer that comes to you if you're in distress. You just want somebody with a gun there to help you. And we have the ability to move forward with that. We need to do a better job of the use of technology. The way we do it now is that we get the crime statistics and they're analyzed at the end of the week. We need to be able to turn that out to the officers in the street on an immediate real-time basis.
Thank you, Denise.